Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man Jay Rich. Count that money, man. Now wipe the crust out of your eyes. Get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Good morning, 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 good people. It is Tuesday, May the 10th, 2022. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with Ray G. And I appreciate you being here. Good to see y'all in the building. Roro in the building. Rojo Fish, Mike, Jasmine, how you doing? Joe, my girl, is in the building. John O2, Nicholas Nelson. We got Jeff, Bill, Ryan, Elwood in the building. Lindsay Mack, good morning to you, my girl. Mike A, what's happening? Man, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good Tuesday. We got chaos on the in the background. Right now we're running three single quarterback / super flex rookie mock drafts with the good viewers of YouTube. So Jay Rich is in the background handling that. I'm checking out the board now. It looks like one of them is almost through round 3. So we'll kind of pull this up. I'm in the draft in the second one right now. So I'm trying to do the show and do a mock draft at the same time. We'll get it done, like Future said, at the same damn time. We can get that done. But glad y'all are in the building. Jay, I'm going to bring you up for a quick minute to see how you're doing. I know you're trying to handle some chaos in the background. What's going down, Jay?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, like I said, just had to get the good people organized, get the drafts going. But we've had a good group. You know, in the past, we've had times where people have timed out. They checked out for a minute, but right now, we're good. You are sitting on the clock right now. What is this, 2:08 in the second draft?
2:08.
But, man, I'm excited. This is fun. You know, whenever we do these exercises, it's crazy to see the variance in picks. You know, people tune in, watch the show. So you'd think, oh, well, maybe you guys are just making the same picks, groupthink, all these things. But no, these are smart, capable individuals making their own decisions. And we're seeing the way this plays out. It's a lot of fun. Look at you, Tyler Algier.
Tyler Algier.
Late second. I like it. We'll go through all the picks. But, Ray, I want to ask you about something that we saw yesterday because people are going to be asking about it. What do we do with the Miami backfield now that Sony Michel has landed in Miami? You got Sony Michel. You got Chase Edmonds. Myles Gaskin still doing things. He'll have some life. I don't know.
Yeah.
But do you think he can be the primary ball carrier would be my first question for you about Sony Michel.
Yeah, I do. I do think he could be. Alex Dunlap from Roster Watch tweeted something out last night. I'm going to pull it up because I want to read it verbatim because I think he's spot on. Let me see if I can find this. This is what he said 11 hours ago. Alex Dunlap, shout out Alex, Roster Watch. He said, Mike McDaniel learned from Kyle Shanahan, who learned from his own dad that real-life football doesn't give a shit about what fantasy enthusiasts project, think, believe, and should happen with the running back committee and touch splits. And I think he's absolutely right. I mean, we've seen the Shanahans do this. You know, I think it's going to be a cluster. You know what? I'm trying to stop cursing. The swear jar is filling up. I think it's going to be a cluster, man, in that backfield. You got Edmonds, Sony Michel, Raheem Mostert. I think he's always hurt, man. He's habitually hurt. Myles Gaskin. I think Sony Michel, there is a world in which Sony Michel is the primary early down ball carrier in that backfield. And my question is, do you even want to deal with that? Like, you know, maybe Gaskin gets cut, right? Maybe he gets cut, maybe he goes away. But I do envision a world in which Sony's the primary early down ball carrier, the between the 20s kind of ball carrier. And I don't think that's a far-fetched, assertion to make. I think that's very well within the realm of possibility for that backfield in Miami. And I don't want anything to do with it, man. I don't like it.
So for me, I think the interesting piece with Sony Michel is that he doesn't really fit the profile of what we've seen in the past with the Shanahan, San Francisco-style running backs. They are more about space, mobility, and burst, right? And I think Sony is really the anti-Shanahan running back in a lot of ways. Yeah. But in a lot of ways, he's also been very durable. And so if you're a coach who wants to run a certain system through various backs, whoever the backs are, you need your running backs to be durable. And if there's one thing we've seen in the past, it's these running backs that San Francisco drafts have lacked that durability in a lot of ways. And to bring in a running back like Sony, who, wow, we may not like him, if they think he can fit the system, he can run that zone scheme, then he's probably going to be durable. He's probably going to get, 200 carries and not do a whole lot for fantasy. But if he is getting it done for that offense and they believe in him, then he's going to be there, right? And I think when we look at this roster, could Chase Edmonds be the guy? Maybe. But outside of that, they didn't bring in anyone of consequence in the draft. Sony very well may be the most talented running back on that roster. For better or worse, that's just what it's looking like right now.
So I was looking at some best ball ADP out there right now. Chase Edmonds coming off the board as RB34, ADP of 106. Raheem Mostert, RB46 with an ADP of 146. And then Sony Michel coming off the board as RB64 with an ADP of 211.
Damn.
Yeah, damn. I mean,
that's late.
It's
late,
it's
though.
super. It's hella, the whole Sony Michel transition is hella crazy because Rose said it best. If you were old enough to remember watching Georgia when Sony Michel was there, he was a scat back. Like Sony Michel, like he was viewed as this dynamic pass catching running back that could kind of do it. That was his billing, right? That's why he got drafted where he did. And to see him turn into this grinder back in the NFL is something that I did not envision happening when you were looking at Sony Michel coming out of Georgia. But before we got going and we were running the mock draft behind the scenes, we did have a super chat. So let's get James up here. Let's get James. We have a super chat. James in the building. Should I trade? I like the way this looks here than when it comes in on the thing. Should I trade 223 first, 224 seconds, and Drew Lock for Lamar Jackson, 224 thirds? These are high first-round picks. So basically, some high first, 2 seconds, and Drew Lock to get L-Jax and 2024 thirds. Jay, what do you think here? Would you trade 2 high-end first-round picks in 23? Let's just say, let's not give it the one-on-one. Wait. Yeah. You think what?
So I think that this is interesting, right? From the standpoint of I think it really has to do with where your team is at. If I'm trading to compete, I'm iffy on it, right? But again, how are you going to compete if you don't have a high-end quarterback? So it's like, I think you've got to be going for it if you're going to trade 2 high-end 23 first to just get Lamar Jackson, right? Because you could get really productive players, but you're not going to get really productive quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think if I'm trying to win, I would probably keep my picks and go after a lower tier quarterback who could produce 80% of Lamar Jackson, right? Or maybe even 90% of Lamar Jackson, depending on the season. But to trade out those 2 potential first is tough.
Let's put number slots to the picks, right? So let's not make it the 101. That's easy. That's Bijan, right? Let's make it like the 104 and the 106 in 2023. 104, you're probably looking at
those are Jackson. I was gonna
say you're looking at Jackson Smith and Jigba, and maybe
even a quarterback.
Maybe Anthony Richardson, JSN and Anthony Richardson, 2 seconds and 24, and Drew. I don't care about Drew Lock.
It's tough. You gotta be all in. I think at that point because you're giving up a lot of capital. I
don't know, man. I don't know, bro. It seems like it doesn't seem like it's that steep, honestly. Like it really doesn't. Like if you're like Lamar, Drew Lock is I don't give a shit. And then those 2 seconds and 24, I could figure that out in 24. It's really 2 firsts for Lamar Jackson. I mean, the 2 seconds, again, it's 24. I will figure that out. I will recoup those seconds. I'm not worried about it. 2 firsts for L-Jax, and I'm trying to get it? Yeah, man, I'm like Marcus, man. F them seconds, bro. Like, give me Lamar. Like, I don't think it's that steep at all, to be honest with you. I think that's about what else? Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you sell Lamar for? Like, you're not gonna get him for 1 first. You're not gonna get him for 1 first and a bunch of seconds.
But in a loaded draft class, it may change our perspective just a little bit, right? Depending on where you're at and what you want to do. Do you want to trade all that draft capital in a good draft class?
And here's my thing. you're still, if whether it's Will Levis or AR-15, you're praying that they could become Lamar Jackson. Like, if that's where you're going. You're a wide receiver and a quarterback. He said, I'm ready to compete next year. I'm fine with it, personally. I'm fine with it. I don't think I want Lamar Jackson. I want Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I want Lamar Jackson. This is about what it probably cost you to get him, bro. Like, what else could he potentially get him for?
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, am I trading that high draft capital for Lamar Jackson? Is more my philosophical question for this super chat, right? Am I targeting Lamar Jackson? That's all.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, I don't care about Lock. Lock is dumpster juice. It's the 2 first, 2 seconds, and I'm not worried about recouping those seconds. I'll take Lamar Jackson. James, I'd go Lamar Jackson straight up. Jay, where do you land on this?
I think I would look for another quarterback, but if you can't find another quarterback, Lamar Jackson is a great return for those 2 first.
I don't think there's a shot in hell you can get Josh Allen.
No, you're not getting Josh Allen.
I don't think there's a shot in hell 223 first and some seconds will get you Josh Allen. Nah, I don't think so. All right, let's look at somebody said there was another one in there, Jay. So I saw somebody say that they put a super chat in there too. So while I get ready to pull up this mock, just see if you could locate it. Somebody said that they had another one in there. All right, let's look at this mock. Which one are we going to look at? Single quarterback. Let's pull it up. Let's tap into this one real quick. Let's see. Boom. All right, cool. Damn, I need to zoom in. I can't see. I cannot see. Jay Rich, I can't see. It's too small. All right, let's pull that up a little bit more. Bam, bam, bam. Now we're cooking with grease, baby. Now we got it. All right. Single quarterback. What we got? All right, 101. Is that Matt Bruning on the clock at 101? We got Breece Hall, Drake London, Kenneth Walker. There he goes. Despite Josh Larkey's best attempts to drive Kenneth Walker's ADP down. I'm going to talk to my co-host about that tonight, why he hates Kenneth Walker so much. Kenneth Walker still 103. Then we got Treylon Burks, 104. Garrett Wilson, 105. J-Mo, 16. There goes the Kansas City Chiefs' newest wide receiver, Sky Moore, at 107. My man Dynasty Barry went ahead and took Olave at 108. GP George Pickens at 19. Jahan Dotson at Christian Watson at 110. Jahan Dotson at 111. And I zoomed in too far. We can't see one. David Bell. Oh, boy.
Whoa, no.
David Bell at 112. All right. Follows that up with Wan'Dale Robinson at the 2-1. James Cook 2-2. Rashad White 2-3. Spiller at the 2-4 spot. Damian Pierce 2-5. Tyler Algier 2-6. Antoine Pierce 2-7. John Mechie 2-8. B-Rob 2-9. First tight end off the board at 2-10. Keontae 2-11. And Zamir Zeus White at 2-12. All right, Jay, real quick, thoughts in the first round. I should have got your thoughts in round 1. Do you think this is like the consensus that we're going to see moving forward? You know, those top 3, then just a litany of wide receivers off the board after that?
I think the first 11 is, for the most part, what to expect, right? We had Drake London ahead of Kenneth Walker, which you don't always see, but we've talked about how we're on board with that. Then you have your top 3 wide receivers behind him, with J-Mo at the back of the pack, which we expect in most drafts. And then, follow it up with Sky Moore, Olave, Pickens, Watson, Dotson, who are all in a tier. And I wouldn't expect Pickens to go 109. That was a little early from what I've seen in a lot of my drafts. I usually find him around 112 and even 2-1 at times. But I think the most interesting point here is no James Cook in the first round. We see James Cook in almost every first round, and you didn't see it this time around. I think that in a lot of ways, this is what to expect. A lot of wide receivers, the 2 running backs early, fuckload of wide receivers after that. But where are you at, Ray, with this order of these guys and kind of how they were drafted versus kind of your ranks and where you're at with them?
There's no way I'd be taking David Bell in round 1. That's no. Where's the you know where I'm going to, right? Where's the sounder at on that one? That's an absolute
wrong.
Would not be doing that. Would not be doing that. Wan'Dale at the 2-1 spot over James Cook over the run. That's a tough sell for me. All right, let's go to 3-1. And it is snake draft. Jasmine ready to raise holy hell in the chat. It is a snake. Jasmine is about to go ballistic on folks. Abe Smith at 3-1. First QB off the board, 3-2 Kenny Pickett. Jalen Tolbert, Tyrion Davis-Price, kind of low for TDP in my opinion. Hassan Haskins, 3-5. Khalil Shakir, 3-6. Malik, 3-7. Kyron, 3-8. Tyquan Thornton, 3-9. That's my guy. Pierre Strong, 3-10. Tyler Batty at 3-11. Romeo Dubs at 3-12. And then we finish it up with just the grosses of fourth rounds. Greg Dulcich, Desmond Ritter, Kevin Harris, Jerome Ford, Ty Chandler, Jelani Woods, Isaiah Pacheco. I'm starting to see some Isaiah Pacheco steam because of the Kansas City Chiefs situation. Matt Corral, Snoop Connor, Danny Gray, Calvin Austin, and Velus Jones at 4-12. The disrespect to the third-round pick, Velus Jones. I don't care how old he is, man. He's going to play. He's going to play. Nate List was talking about it yesterday. I don't know why. He's going to play. People hate Velus Jones. I know he's old. So that just means he's ready to contribute right away. Velus Jones at 4-12. I'll take a shot on that every day. The guy's locker is right next to Justin Fields for whatever that's worth. 4-12. Give me damn Velus Jones. Danny Gray at 4-10. Wow. Man. Romeo Dubs, man.
You can't do it?
Man. I saw him get jammed up way too many times at the Senior Bowl, man. Like, just when the coaches got to restart drills, it's funny. So all the Justin Ross highlights that we had been seeing, and I don't even want to call them highlights, right? Justin Ross practice things. One of them that they showed, he had to restart the drill. Anytime the coaches got to restart the damn drill, that's not good. But that was Romeo Dubs every rep at the Senior Bowl. Like, restart because you can't get off the fucking line of scrimmage and he's messing up practice. This one seemed fine, man. Let's go to the next one. I want to see what some other people did. Hopefully we don't get David Bell at the 112 spot. So let's see. This one is done. Round 2 is done. Jay Rich, you were in this draft. All right, let's see what we got here. Breece Hall, look at this one. A little bit different. All right, we got Breece at the 1. Drake at 2. Pretty standard. J-Mo, 103. All right, got a little variance there. Kenneth Walker, 104. There goes me, 105. I took Treylon Burks. That's how the ranks are. I don't put ranks out there and draft opposite. Some people do that, not OGQ. Garrett Wilson, 106. Olave, 107. Sky Moore, 1-8, George Pickens, Jahan Dotson. You took your boy, Christian Watson, and then you took him over James Cook, who went 112. But then look at this. Right after that, David Bell at 2-1. So David Bell, is this his price? Everyone's taking him around the so far, 112, 2-1. Isaiah Spiller, you went with Spiller over Pierce and Rachaad White, who came off of the board at 3 and 4, respectively. John Mechie at 2-5, Zeus White 2-6. We saw him go at the back of the second on the last one. B-Rob, I went with Tyler Algier at 2-8, Antoine Pierce 2-9, Trey McBride 2-10, TDP, there we go, TDP in the second, I love it, and then Kenny Pickett at the 212 spot. We got Tolbert, Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale, if you remember, in the last mock went 2-1. Here he goes 3-2. I like this price a little bit better than paying the 2-1 for Wan'Dale Robinson. We got Tyquan Thornton at 3-3, Hassan Haskins at 3-4, and then I went with Kyron Williams at 3-5. Keontae, Pierre, Khalil, Malik, Jelani, Calvin, and Ty Chandler. So, and Velus Jones again, I just skipped to the end of the fourth. Velus Jones again, damn it, Mr. Irrelevant.
Behind
almost.
Justin Ross.
Behind Justin Ross. The third round pick gets drafted behind the undrafted free agent that had to wait about a week before he got signed. We still go with that guy over Velus Jones. I see Snoop Connor there at the 4-3. Danny Gray got a little bit of an ADP bump in this one. All right, Jay, this mock. J-Mo at 1-3. Give me the real deal here. Is this a mistake? Is taking J-Mo at 1-3 over Josh Larkey's most hated running back, Kenneth Walker? I'm going to continue to do that to my man Larkey. I'm going to talk to him tonight, trust me. Is this a mistake? J-Mo off the board at 1-3.
It's not a mistake, but it's definitely bold. It's definitely bold based on what we've seen. If that's truly how you feel, you should be looking to trade back because you could probably get him 2 or 3 picks later, right, at least. And you have to think someone will be willing to trade up to go get Kenneth Walker. So, yeah, at worst, It's not bad because I think we both believe that J-Mo could have that ceiling. Just not probably the bet that I would make if it was my rookie draft. I'd probably take Walker or Burks. All right, now I would definitely take Burks over J-Mo. If you want to take J-Mo over Garrett Wilson, I'm fine with it. But I think you have to take Kenneth Walker and Treylon Burks over J-Mo at this point.
Somebody said Velus Jones wore a suit to his first day of work. Wolf of Wall Street Energy. Listen, I'm not advocating that Velus Jones was the right pick. He should have been the pick, whatever the case may be. But the reality is he was their third-round pick at wide receiver, and there's nobody else there. Like, the dude is going to play. I get it. He was on the same USC team with Sam Darnold. Thing is, I think I was at that game, man. When USC played Alabama, I got to look this up. When USC played Alabama at AT&T Stadium here in Dallas, I believe I was at that game because we left early.
That was when you walked out, right?
Yeah, we left about midway through the third. Jalen Hurts and them, they beat the shit out of USC. It was like 50-something to 12. And we were like, let's get out of here. Like, I don't feel like doing it. I think Velus Jones may have been on the field for that game. But, I mean, going at the back of the fourth, like, I'm taking a shot on him, man. Like, who cares? At that point, who cares? Look at the round. Harris, Snoop Connor, Ty Chandler, Calvin Austin. Give me Velus. Would you, realistically, who do you think, if either of these players are going to produce fantasy points for you, who do you think has a better shot, Calvin Austin or Velus Jones?
Oh, it's Calvin Austin. It really is. Like,
let's be fucking real here, Jay, or I will kick you off the screen. Be honest. Have you watched one single Velus Jones highlight? Anything? Like, have you watched any of his games?
No, I haven't.
So,
Zero.
So this is just purely based off of he's old.
No, I have watched Calvin Austin though. I've watched Calvin Austin.
But
Calvin
have you?
Really
I asked if you watched Velus Jones. Anything?
No, but you're asking me who would I take over the?
No. I didn't ask who you would take. I said who do you think is going to score more fantasy points this season, Calvin Austin or Velus Jones?
Calvin Austin.
Do you want to bet that?
Sure.
All right. What are we betting?
I don't know.
$20?
Do you want to? Are you ready? Are you gonna go high roller on this one? Or
No, case of Topo Chico. A case of Topo in my time. $20. Case of Topo Chico.
Okay.
Can we lock it in?
Yeah, we're good. I'm good with
All
Calvin
right,
Austin.
there's the bet.
I think he can get me 100 points. No, maybe 100 points. Maybe.
Well,
maybe
we're
70.
not going to put parameters on it. Velus Jones versus Calvin Austin this season.
This is the worst bet we've ever
You think?
made. Like,
no, it's a bet. Do you think Calvin Austin outscores Velus Jones?
Yeah, easily.
Lock it in. Jay Rich is going to owe me some more money. I got Velus Jones outscoring Calvin Austin this year in fantasy. The bet is locked in. The people have heard it. All right. Are we done with this one? Do you want to look at the next mock and then we can talk about this?
Yeah.
All right.
Go to the next one.
Let's go to the next mock. Is that one finished?
Yeah, it's done.
All right. Bet. No doubt. All right. Is this single quarterback or super flex?
It's supposed to be single quarterback. It's in the thumbnail. It's in the title. I mean, I don't know.
All right, Eric.
Sounds like
Eric,
wasn't
Eric,
paying attention.
show yourself. Somebody said, Jay, you just lost 20. And it is a Chicago Bears thing.
See.
So we'll see. All right.
No stock in that guy.
Here we go. For the first time, we see Kenneth Walker come off the board at 1-2. So we got running back, and then Treylon, wide receiver 1. Treylon, WR1, Drake London. Man, if I'm at 104 and Drake London is there, I'd be pretty happy. Tennessee fan here. Velus Jones could play. He ain't a scrub. I don't think he's a scrub either. Olave over J-Mo. Had to burp, man. Yeah, it made me belch. Yuck. Sky Moore, 108. I think he's gone 108 in every mock that we did. 108. JB, we did your job for you. We got 3 sets of ADP for you right here. Pull this and update we crowdsourced our information. It was all a ploy to get ADP. Jahan Dotson at 109. And Eric takes Kenny Pickett at 110. Christian Watson, 111. George Pickens at 112. So this is a super flex one. We'll just say this is super flex, all right? James Cook, this is how easy you can do it in 2022. Just fucking switch it up. Now it's super flex. James Cook at 2-1. Am I missing something here?
Ray, honestly, man, like I'm not kidding. I think I'm in 3 rookie drafts. I don't think I've seen David Bell get drafted ahead of outside of the 3rd round. Like I've always seen him 3rd round or later. I don't know who these people are in the comments that watch the show every day who don't know that we don't like David Bell here.
I mean, I like him. I like him, but man,
but why?
He's
much as you may not.
I'm not taking him this high.
Wan'Dale Robinson or John Mechie. There is no world where David Bell goes ahead of either of those guys just based off draft capital alone. Like I don't get why people are making this decision. Even if you want to take Rachaad White, even if you want to take Dameon Pierce or Tyler Algier or Isaiah Spiller or Brian Robinson or Tyrion Davis-Price, like all those guys have higher hit rate potential than David Bell, just from a pure analytical standpoint. So why would we even bother taking the gamble on David Bell? And TDP is a perfect example. We've seen him go late second or third round every draft. But if we're just relying on hit rates and saying, okay, this guy's a chance to get on the field. He was a third-round pick. His hit rate's actually pretty high versus David Bell, whose hit rate is pretty low. To me, it's like, I just think you're betting on an outlier when, in a lot of ways, I just don't see how he's going to get on the field. And I've mentioned this before. I don't think he beats out Donovan Peoples-Jones. I just don't. Donovan Peoples-Jones is a freak athlete who, when he gets the ball, plays pretty well. David Bell is a subpar athlete who isn't likely to beat out a 5-star freak athlete in Cleveland. I'm sorry. That's just how I see it. And he's not going to beat out Amari Cooper, and we already know they're a run-first offense. So how many targets are really going to be going David Bell's way, and why are we drafting him that high?
I love all the comments of people telling me, like, I don't know who the fuck David Bell is. Like, I don't do this. Like, I know who David Bell is. I get it. He was also a third-round pick. He's a dog. I know who David Bell is. I'm still not taking him at the 2-1. Or the 2-2 spot, but I guess in this draft class, get your guy after 107, right? Like, it's just, I know who he is. He's a good player. I'm not taking him at 2-1. Like, I'll let somebody else. It's a third-round pick at wide receiver. It wasn't like he's a third-round wide receiver. Like, I'd rather shoot darts at this point at a running back that had day 2 draft capital, like a Cook, like a Rachaad White, even some of the running backs that have good situations, man. Like, I like him. I like him. I mean, even after he ran slow at the combine, did I adjust my David Bell ranking? No, I didn't. He was still a tier 2 wide receiver for me. He was still a top 10 cat even after the combine, after the meltdown and the poor athletic testing. I still didn't move him, but I'm not taking him that high, man. Good. Y'all can have fun with that one about all of that other stuff. I'm good. Rachaad White at 2-3, Dameon Pierce 2-4, Spiller 2-5. I think this is the highest we've seen McBride go at 2-6, I think. Tyler Algier at 2-7, Wan'Dale Robinson 2-8, Mechie 2-9, B-Rob 2-10, Tolbert 2-11, and TDP 2-12. Seems like that's pretty much consensus players in round 2 across the board. Then 3, Alec Pierce. I think this is the furthest we've seen Alec Pierce fall. Khalil Shakir 3-2, Zeus White 3-3. I think I'm just wondering, is it the I guess the immediate opportunity for Algier in Atlanta that has him going, 2-7 mid-second, and Zamir White, even though Las Vegas, the Raiders, that was their second pick in the draft, and they declined Josh Jacobs' fifth-year option. Should Zeus White be going a little bit higher than this than the 3-3 spot? I think so. I would rather.
Let's see.
Would you rather Zamir White or John Mechie? Zamir White or Wan'Dale Robinson?
Well, I think I would prefer John Mechie, and I think it's for the same argument, right? It's opportunity to get an opportunity right out of the gate. If we're talking about the Raiders situation, their backup running back last season only had 63 carries, so not a lot for Zeus White. But again, new system, and the Patriots do use 2 backs a little bit more. He could be walking into 80 to 100 carries, which a little bit better, but not great overall. But I think if it's me, like Wan'Dale Robinson's pretty low on my list because again, Giants. I don't really want to target Giants receivers. But I would definitely be willing to take a shot on Zeus White a little bit higher than here. I'd be willing to take him over Alec Pierce, over Khalil Shakir, probably over Jalen Tolbert. Don't know if I would take him over Brian Robinson, but I think that Wan'Dale would be the guy that'd be a little bit lower in my ranks personally. I don't know if I would take Algier that high, but I get, you're banking on him getting an opportunity early. And so I'm fine with it if that's the way you want to play it and the way that you see it playing out. Because at the end of the day, we are throwing darts mid-second. And if you believe he can be that guy, then go ahead, take him, because maybe he is going to be that guy.
Yo, this is an interesting comment. What do you think? Austin says Kyron Kyren's stock up after Michelle left yesterday too. What do you think? Like, what do you think about Kyren's stock? I mean, a lot of people, we're not really believing in Akers at this point. I mean, the ADP is really falling like an anvil. It is going down, down, down. Do you think this is good for Kyren Williams? No Sonny Michel. Now it's just Akers, Darrell Henderson, and Kyren Williams. You think this is good for Kyren behind Cam Akers?
Potentially. I think it depends on how they ultimately want these backs to work and operate, right? So Sonny Michel had 208 carries last year in the season, so that obviously gets vacated, but probably goes to Cam Akers. Darrell Henderson had 150. Obviously, they started games separately. Sonny Michel started 7. Darrell Henderson started 10. And then the target distribution, you're seeing 40 to Darrell Henderson and basically none. Wow, Sonny Michel. Oh, no, 33. So 40 targets to Darrell Henderson, 33 to Sonny Michel. So kind of a two-back system they ran last year. But if Kyren isn't one of those backs, I'm not really sure how this shakes out. I don't think he is a massive upgrade over Darrell Henderson as a receiving back, but does he take receiving work from Cam Akers? There's only 70 targets there last year. It's not like there's 100 that he maybe work in. I just don't know where he kind of slots in. And ultimately, he probably takes a little bit away from each guy. Do they transition to him next year, potentially, with Darrell Henderson going to be on an expiring contract? But with so much up in the air in this RB room, there is a world where he gets on the field because we know that he can do pass pro and he can obviously catch passes. But I don't know how fruitful that role can ultimately be. And I think that most of the work is going to go to Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson again this year.
Okay, so Eric did say that it's in his defense. He's had a super chat and said somehow it said super flex. So this is fine. I mean, if it's super flex, then maybe you just bump Corral, Willis, and Ritter up around. But as we look at these different drafts, man, like, where's the cutoff? Where are you just like, I'm good, bro. Like, I'm good on all of these players. You can have them. I don't need to have anybody else. Mason said, y'all tripping. He's mad. Mason said, I'm pissed. Y'all get the hell out of here. Bell is a dog. Where do you think the cutoff point is? Yes.
For me, it's right around 110, 111 or so. I think the player that is the cutoff for me is George Pickens. And I think it's just because I don't really want anybody after that. Like, we saw George Pickens go 112. I guess we'll say the first round. Because I'm fine with George Pickens. I'm fine with Jahan Dotson. If you want to take Pickett later, I'm fine with Christian Watson. And usually James Cook goes in there as well, so that helps to bump the ADP down for all those guys. But I think after that, like, I'm not mad if I can trade out and get picks. Most of the time, that's not the case. As I've seen, I have massive drafts with tons of picks, and I can't move any of them because nobody wants them. But if I'm able to move those picks, I think it's, right outside the first round. I think having a first-round pick is pretty good, and you're probably going to get a good player. You could say, maybe 16, 17, because if we want to take some shots on those running backs, I'm fine with it. But I think from an actual talent that I actually want, it's probably about just the first round, top 12 guys.
Man, I think this ship is sailed. Trade everything after 109 for 23s. I think that ship is sailed, man. I hope so. I hope you can. For me, the cutoff point, my personal cutoff point, because I play in Superflex leagues. Kenny Pickett is my 107, right? So I would bump Olave down. I'd move Kenny Pickett up. It's Hall, Walker, Burks, London, Wilson, J-Mo, Kenny Pickett for me, and then Sky Moore's the 8. My cutoff is right at 8. Like, after Sky Moore, I like Jahan Dotson. I like George. I think George Pickens is going to be good. He's got that dog in him, right? That dog. We like that dog.
Yeah, he's got that dog.
He got that dog. You saw how he was standing in his fucking draft thing. You saw how he was standing with the full ski mask over his face. He's got that dog in him. But, man, after and maybe I am just a prisoner of the Kansas City Chief landing spot, but I was high on Sky Moore pre-draft, so I'm a big Sky Moore fan. So after
love yourself some Sky Moore.
I do love Sky Moore, man. I was high on him before, so when he hits a landing spot like that, it only fits my narrative. So I'm gonna rock with Sky Moore. But after 108, Jay, like legitimately, man, y'all could have all the Dotson, Watson, Cook, Bell, White, Pierce. You can spill her. You can whatever you want. I'm good. Like, I will gladly miss out on everybody else. In the third round, I don't care. Fourth round, like Abe Smith, he's probably gonna be on waivers. I'd love to get him off of waivers. There goes your boy Cal. Where'd Velus Jones? There we go. Finally, some Velus Jones respect in here. But after 108, man, I'm good, bro. Like, I am good. I am good. I'm good after 108.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that, right? And I think for me, like, I'm still willing to bet on Dotson as a first-round wide receiver. I get why you wouldn't want to if you don't have to, but I've had multiple drafts where I've traded down from, 108, 109, just a couple picks and picked up a second so I can take another RB dart throw and still get a first-round wide receiver in Dotson. It's just depending on philosophy, how your people draft. But we got into a spirited debate yesterday, right, about Kenny Pickett and trading him. And it's like, you still have to have a trade partner at the end of the day.
Yeah, you got to have a takeout agent.
Trade out, right? You got to have someone who's willing to trade with you. And that's the hard part right now in a lot of rookie drafts. I had a draft that I must have had, 8 picks or at least 6 picks in the top 24. No one wanted them. No one wanted to trade for them. So I'm just stuck making all these picks. And you have to make a decision, right? That's why we talk through it. We do these exercises. And so, like, for me, I think the top 12 is a fine spot to be in. I think you're getting a good player in there no matter what. I get your standpoint of the top 8 cutoff. I'm fine with that as well. I see where there's a tier break there. And then after that, it's just kind of taking shots on running backs for me. Like, I had a draft where I think I took 4 running backs in the second round, just Zeus White, Brian Robinson, Isaiah Spiller, TDP, like, just getting a guy who can get a shot that I can flip mid-season if they get a start. Because that's ultimately what we're trying to do with these picks. We're trying to get guys who will see the field, flip them for new assets, right? And then continually move that capital up into other drafts.
You know what, man? You touched on something, Jay. I legitimately believe, man, I don't care how many of these fucking mocks we do, how many of them insert DLF, Dynasty Nerds, Player Profiler, BDG, I don't care. Fantasy Pros, Fantasy this, Fantasy whatever it is, everyone is going to look just about the same. Everyone. Like, this is your first round. There goes your second. Everyone's going to be just about the same. You'll have some where the Wandells go higher, the Spillers go lower, the Rosses go higher. But for the most part,
and James Cook to the moon, right?
James Cook goes up. Like, you'll have some of those. But for the most part, every one of these are the same. Jay, I think we're done. I truly think we're fucking. This is it. This is the last 2020. Like, well, literally, I'm just gonna flip through the tabs, and they all look the same. They all look the same. For
the most part, right? You're just shifting the order within the rounds, but a lot of it is the same.
They all look the same. We're done. What I want to see, Jay, is trades involving these picks and or these players. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this exercise ever again. We're done. We will not. We probably will because it's easy content. We probably will. But I want to see trades involving what people are giving up for the rights to draft George Pickens, for the rights to draft Drake London at 102. That's what I want to see, Jay. I want to see who's out here making those deals. Joe said, and I think she thinks she said this. She said, I'm competing this year, so I'm willing to sell my 23 first for that late push, right? I guess my question for you, Joe, is in this scenario, right, would you trade that late first for anything after like 108, 109? She's probably going to say, hell no. But would you trade that 23 first for anything in the back of the first, like after the Sky Moore, for Dotson, Watson, Pickens, Cook? Would you trade that late first for any of that? I doubt she says yes. But what I want to see is I want trades involving that. I think that's the more useful exercise at this stage of the we are in dead months, y'all. Like, this is the calm before the OTA and training camp storm. We're approaching mid-May, June, July. I think July is when we ramp up the training camps. A little bit, yeah. June, July. So we've got a little bit of time to kind of do some different things. I just want to see trades involving these players, man. Like, all these mocks are going to look the same. So let's find trades. Yeah, and she said no, right? So that's not what she was talking about. I didn't think so, right? We need to see deals involving these guys, because these type of exercises, they do you no good. All we're going to do is talk about who picked what at the end of the first and the beginning of the second. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%. And I'm not sure what you want to do with that. Maybe we build a show around that either this week or next week. I know
we'll just talk some trades. We'll just talk some values and trades.
We're doing Q&A, right?
Yeah,
because
we're doing
to your
Q&A
point, it's
tomorrow.
interesting to see. It's interesting to see what people are actually trading for these picks, because
Yes.
for us, we ain't trading much, especially for players, right? We know what to project for these guys, so we're not giving up like valuable players for many of these guys, unless you're going up to 2-1 to get Drake London. Like, you're not really doing a whole lot. If it's me, I am just probably staying clear. But if there are trades, like, let me know what you guys are getting for some of these picks, because you never know.
Look at this. James traded the 102 for 106 and the 23 first. I mean, come on, baby. That is
money right there.
That is an absolute Hey, don't be don't be fucking lying, just saying all this stuff now. I need screen. I sold 102 for 5 first. I did it in my home league. 102 for 302, 107 and the 23 first. That's a smash, man. That's an absolute I want to see that. I need to see it. That, like that Monique meme. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I would like to see these deals. So make sure you're following the Wake Up Twitter. What's our thing? What's it? _ Wake Up TV.
Wake Up TV _ Yeah.
Is it? No, I think it's _ Wake Up TV.
Okay. Well, whatever it is.
Yeah, go to that and screenshot it. I need to see it. Yeah, I need proof. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, because we're doing Q&A tomorrow, right? So if you go in the link in the description of this video, I do have the tweet where you can post your questions. And Ray, I was even saying, if they review the podcast, we will guarantee them an answer on the show or via DM. So let us know. Send us those screenshots. Give us those reviews, and we can get your questions answered. And we will get a bunch of questions on the show. So the more questions you ask, the more we get. It's 1 per person for the tweet. So if you post like 4, then we will pick the first one. But if you do give us reviews, we will answer those questions from those reviews. So feel free to review as many times as you want and get as many questions as you want answered. We will see what happens. I hope it doesn't end up like the draft challenge.
Whoa.
Yeah, as many as they want.
You don't get as many as you want.
One review per question. One review per question.
The reality is, the patrons, the Destination Debbie patrons that post the shit in the trade channel, patreon.com/allgas, they can get as many answered as they want. That's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming in the inbox. You said what?
This is my promise. This is my promise. If they drop reviews, 1 question per review, I will answer as many questions as you want.
You're good.
Mom's phone, dad's phone, brother's phone, doesn't matter. Apple Podcasts, drop us some reviews, we'll answer some questions. I'll try and get some on the show. Just send us a screenshot to the account. And like I mentioned, the Twitter post is pinned on our social media for that. But it's also in the description of this video. So make sure, don't drop your questions in the comments. I'm not going to look there. Put them on Twitter. Put them in the reviews, screenshot them for us, send them to us, and we will get them answered for you tomorrow when we do Q&A.
All right, there it is. So moving forward, we're gonna lay off of these damn rookie mocks because they all look the same. I want to see trades involving these players. All right, I want to see trades involving these players because I think that is a more useful exercise than going through these mocks weekly. So appreciate you tapping into the show. Yes, go to the Discord, Marlon. Go to the Discord. We got you over there. Yeah, we're still live. We're still rolling. The builders are out there, but the internet is good. But, yeah, appreciate y'all tapping in today. Tomorrow, Q&A. Make sure you get your questions in. It's all about y'all. We're just going to talk through whatever y'all want to talk about. Wherever your heart desires to go. Make sure you tap into the channel. Hit the thumbs up button. Comment. Subscribe. If you want to win some money, Jay, we had a good night last night. NBA prop bets. It was good, baby.
You had a really good night.
It was a good night.
Really good night.
It's a lot of green in the account, big dog. Like, we got that. You have built... I got to give you a round of applause. You have built some fantastic projection models. I can't wait for us to talk NFL prop bets. We actually need to talk about some of these futures for some rookies, so we'll do that on Thursday and see where, odds makers have some of these rookies where they're projected to go. So we appreciate y'all tapping into the show. We love y'all. We'll be back. Q&A tomorrow. We out. Have a good day. Peace out.